Hello, good evening. Now we are going to discuss about the objectives of auditing. Auditors are basically concerned with verifying whether the accounts exhibit true and fair view of the business. The objectives of auditing depends upon the purpose of his appointment. It consists of primary objectives and secondary objectives. Primary objectives. The primary objectives of an auditor is to respect to the owners of his business, expressing his opinion whether accounts exhibit true and fair view on the state of affairs of the business. It should be remembered that in case of company, he reports to the shareholders who are the owners of the company and not to the director. The auditor is also concerned with verifying how far the accounting system is successful in correctly recording the transaction. He had to see whether accounting are prepared in accordance with the recognized accounting policies and practices and as for statutory requirement. Secondary objectives. It consists of detection and prevention of errors. The following objectives are incidental to the main objectives of auditing. The errors are mistakes committed unintentionally because of ignorance, carelessness. These are number one, errors of omission. The errors of omission are the errors which arise on account of transaction into being recorded in the books of accounts either wholly or partially. If a transaction has been totally omitted, it will not affect trial balance and hence it is more difficult to detect. On the other hand, if a transaction is basically recorded, the trial balance will not agree and hence it can be easily detected. Then error of commission. When incorrect entries are made in the books of accounts, either wholly or partially, such errors are known as error of commission. For example, wrong entries, wrong calculations, wrong posting, carry forward mistake, etc. Such errors can be located while verifying. Then compensating error. These errors are committing when two or more mistakes are committed which counterbalances each other. Such errors known as compensating error. For example, if the amount is wrongly debited by a sum of rupees 1000 or 100 less and wrongly credited by rupees 100 or 1000, such a mistake is known as compensating error. Then error of principle. These are the errors committed by not properly following the accounting principles. These arise mainly due to the lack of knowledge of accounting. For example, revenue expenditures may be treated as capital expenditure. Then finally, clerical errors. A clerical error is one which arises on account of ignorance, carelessness, then negligence, etc. Then, detection and prevention of fraud. It consists of three, namely misappropriation of cash. A fraud is an error committed intentionally to detective or to mislead or to conceal the truth, the material fact. Frauds may be three types, namely misappropriation of cash. This is the one of the major fraud in any organization. It normally occurs in the cash department. This kind of fraud is either by showing more payments or less receipts. The cashier may show more expenses than what is actually incurred and misuse the extra cash. For example, showing wages to dummy workers. Cash can also be misappropriated by showing the less receipts. Then misappropriation of goods. These kinds of frauds may occur. Record may be made for the goods not purchased, not issued to production department. Goods may be used for personal purpose. Such a fraud can be detected by checking stock record and physical verification of goods. Finally, manipulation of accounts. This is the financing accounts with the intention of misleading others. This is also known as window dressing. It is very difficult to locate because it is, yeah, usually committed by higher level management such as director. The objectives of window dressing may be to evade tax, to borrow money from the bank, to increase share prices, etc. Thank you.